Hi, my name is Martina and welcome to my channel. Today I thought it would be a great idea to look at all of the books I have in my physical TBR to basically count the amount of books that I haven't read yet for my bookshelf and my TBR cart. And I want to estimate around 55 books, maybe more. I doubt it's less though. I doubt it is less because I did buy quite a few books recently, so it's definitely increased and I don't really count them. So I wouldn't know anyways. So let's begin. I think I'll begin on my bottom shelf. I took off mainly all of them from my shelf already, but not all of them though. So let's start here. This first book right here, so pretty. Let's not unravel everything. So yeah, this one, Where Sleeping Girls Lie, I did read this author's first debut book, which was Ace of Spades. Yes, Ace of Spades. I like that book a whole lot. I read it around October, like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. So I bought this one as well. It's like similar vibe, Dark Academia, and I think it's a bit more darker though, but not sure. I do also have this one next to it. These two. I have the sequel to Ray Barrier. It's called Redemptor, and I have this sci-fi one called The Blood Trials. I'm not really a sci-fi reader, that's why I haven't picked this one up yet. And I wanted to let you all know I am terrible at reading book sequels, especially when they are a duology. I don't know why. It's like even if I love the first book, because I Ray Berry is one of my favorite books ever. I procrastinate reading the second one because I just don't want it to end. And I just like the idea of, oh, I love the first book and that's it. Like, what if I hate the second one? It would kind of ruin it for me. But recently, as of last year, I've started whenever I start a series, I try to immediately go into the second book. If it's a duology or if it's like a trilogy, I try to immediately go into the second book so that I continue the series. And I've been doing better. I read a whole 9 book series this year, so I'm doing better. I don't think I'll ever be a reader that reads like Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas because they're all thick books, and I struggle with reading books that are all over 500 pages or just 500 pages at that. So whenever they are a big series that are that long, I just don't want to read it because I like it when the story ends. Like I don't like it when it's take forever to end, you know? Only some series I will say I actually love it when they're kind of long. 4 books is the best I can do. And Ember the Ashes is 4 books, and I love that series so much. I read them each as they came out. That's the only way I'll probably be able to read a series that is super long is as it comes out. I'll probably love all of them, and I just keep reading them. Sci-fi novels I don't really like that much, so I haven't really picked this one up. I haven't felt the need to, but one of these days I'm gonna try it because the reason why I had picked it up anyways is because the main character, she's said to be more vicious, and I love vicious girls, so that's why I got it. And Redemptor I don't know anything about, but I need to read it before I can read this like kind of sequel book series, this kind of like sequel from it, because I tried reading that sequel and I really didn't understand anything. And I think it was because I didn't read this. I don't know the ending of what happened in Rebellion, and that Redemptor would tell me. So I was kind of confused. Speaking of which, that book is called The Maid and the Crocodile. Is on my physical TBR right here. Yeah, that's another one I have on my physical TBR. It's like the sequel to Rayberry and Redemptor. So yeah, haven't read that one either. Then I have right here The Housemaid. This is a new edition. It's by Frida McFadden. I haven't read a Frida McFadden book yet. That's why I got this one. And then I have Out on a Limb by Anna Bonin Young. This is like a popular romance book that I think I'll like. I have another new edition, and that's Beach Read by Emily Henry. I do have 2 editions of this, but I'll only be counting as one because it's the same book. So yeah, I have this one. They're Vicious Games. This is another Dark Academia book, more on the thriller side. So another mystery kind of thriller I have is As Good as Dead. This one's by Holly Jackson. It's the third book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I really like that first 2 books. I really loved them. They were so good. But as I said, I struggle to finish series that I really enjoy the first books in. Like I don't want it to end. I always like put it off as much as possible. And I think the timing also passed for me to continue reading this one as well. So I don't know when I'll have that mood again. Maybe when I'm reading a bunch of mysterious thrillers, I'll finally go and finish it. And also, it's quite longer, and I kind of felt like we didn't really need much more in her story. That's why I didn't pick this one up as fast as I did the first 2. I don't even know why I bought this one. I think it's just because I saw it and my boyfriend was like, "Do you want a book?" And I was like, "Okay, I know that one," so I got it. But it's Letter and Lark. I like Booster and Blackbird, but I didn't love it. So I don't know why I got the sequel. I honestly didn't really think of getting the sequel. But now I have it, and I'm like, maybe one day when I'm in the mood for something unserious with serial killers, I'll read it. Maybe. This is a very old one. This is one that didn't get lost when I moved. It is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. I got this one years ago because I like the idea of fantasy romance or romantasy, whatever you call it. I love the idea of it, but I find I don't really like reading romantasy. It's kind of very cringe at times. Sometimes it's kind of cringe and like very typical. I'm I'm I have my moods where I will like something that I know the plot line is gonna be very basic. Sometimes I have that mood for those, but most of the time I don't. So very rarely I'll pick up fantasy romance off my physical TBR. I most likely read it in ebook form. So this might be an unhaul soon because I've had it for like 4 years, 5 years. Don't even know. More sequels I haven't read. The Prisoner's Throne. This is a sequel to The Stolen Hair. Rootless Vows, sequel to Divine Rivals. Crooked Kingdom. I was a Six of Crows girl fan back in the days, but never read the sequel because I don't know. I'm scared. What if something happened to that character that I really love? Because like the ending of Six of Crows, I was so sad. And then this one, it's another thing of I have to read the second book again because I like the second book a whole lot more. I remember that, but I never read this one. I don't know why. Oh, it's when all the hate was happening with it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was so young. I got convinced by other people's ideas really easily, so I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't read that because why am I reading this? I'm a teenager, and apparently this is not for teenagers. But I'm an adult now. I can read it. I actually did really love, what do you call it, Farah and Raisan. I liked them a lot together. They were very cringy, I know, but they were very fun to read. I like the drama between them. So I think I want to reread the second one. I remember reading that one and loving it a whole lot more than the first book. The first book is definitely a 3 star for me. I'm not gonna reread it, but everyone says the second one is the best. This is my current read. It's Immortal Dark. Everyone's reading this in October and like fall season because it's perfect for that time, and I'm loving it right now. I got Caraval. I want to read this one soon. I actually want to read the whole series, but I only have the first book. The Invisible Life of Adi LaRue. I want to give this one another chance and see if I like it around this time. The Wishing Game. I really think I will like this one. It sounds very cute and cozy and just very sweet, so I think I'll like it. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I think I'll like this one as well. It's more described as criminal minds but teenagers. Another new addition, Spark of the Everflame. This is a fantasy romance. I think it's more focused on the fantasy aspect, which I like that in fantasy romance when the fantasy part of the world is more focused on and the romance is just kind of like there, but not too much. The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chosky. An Academy of Liars by, what's their name? Alexis Anderson. And this one. Don't know when I'll be reading it. I already talked about The Maid and the Crocodile, so I'm not going to take that one off. Starling House. This is a vampire book, and it's more in modern setting. It's focused on this house called Starling House. This author used to live there, but something terrible happened there. I don't think the author is alive anymore. I think it's just like their son that's there. And this main girl, she gets mixed up with the house and the guy living there. This is just one of my book of the month books. What's called The Wild Huntress. Don't know when I'll be reading this one. Then I have this little mini grade called Ava Evergreen Semi Magical Witch. Yeah, Ava Evergreen Semi Magical Witch. It's a middle grade. I have When the Moon Hatch by Sarah A. Parker. This has dragons, and I love dragons, so that's why I got it. Almost every fantasy reader I know love dragons in books, but one thing about dragons in books is that I can never find a book that actually have dragons in it all the way. Fort Wayne had a good amount of dragons. Like that's the only one I read in recent years that has like dragons really throughout the whole book. But I heard that this one doesn't even have dragons that much. I'm like, stop lying. Just put the dragons in every page, every chapter, and stop lying and saying it's a dragon book when you only have the dragon appear like once. Like I hate that so much. So I hope this doesn't disappoint me because I was hearing reviews that saying that it doesn't really have dragons, and that's really the only bummer for me. I don't even care if the romance is trash. I just wanted some dragons, girl. Last one on this top, I have A Dawn of Onyx. I think I called it Onxie the other day when I talk about it. I know, I'm Jamaican. I don't know how to pronounce words that I haven't said out loud before. I just read them. But yeah, it's A Dawn of Onyx, and it's another fantasy romance. That's really all I know. How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days. Will I ever read this? I don't know. I'd probably give it away. So I just got some more books off the bottom of my shelf, my actual shelf, because I still had quite a few on here. So I have here Child of the Sun Queen. This is another fancy romance book that I heard really good things about. I think it has fairies, but I'm not sure. I did start reading it at one point, but not very far enough to say that I really know anything with what I read. But the main girl, she did seem more on the vicious side, and I like that about her. I hope she's more ruthless and conniving. I just love those characters so much. I don't know why. This is one I don't think I'll ever finish because I realize I don't really like long romance books. If a romance book is said to be 500 pages, 600 pages, I'm just not going to read it. I'm sorry. But yeah, this one is called Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. A lot of people are raving about this, but it's romance readers. Romance readers like long romances. I'm just not a romance reader. Like I'll read it occasionally, but I'm not actually a diehard fan enough for me to sit down and read a whole 600-page book of just two characters fall in love. That's not enough for me. I need fantasy. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I don't know when I'll read this. It's the most least interesting Emily Henry book to me. I don't know why. I just got it because Emily Henry and I really like one of her books at a time. That's People We Meet on Vacation. I really like that one. So I just bought her books as they came out. But this one, not that interested in, to be honest. I picked this up last year, Misfit by Elle Kennedy. She's the one that wrote The Deal, The Score, all those other books in that. Was it a hockey romance book? Yeah, I think it's a hockey romance series. I got these two, The Fake Mate and The Nanny by the same author. What's her name? Lana Ferguson. Haven't read either of them, obviously, because they're on my TBR. But they sound pretty cool and rom-com like, so that's why I got them. Especially the Fake Mate. It has more fantasy element to it because it's about a werewolf and it's about werewolf shapeshifters falling in love and faking their romance at first. Terms and Condition. I need to read this one. It's because I have it all the way down on my bookshelf, so I don't really see that much, but I do need to read it. I need to put it somewhere that I'll actually notice it more because I read the fine print. It was okay. I liked it a lot, but I think I will love this one more. It has the dating the boss, but fake dating the boss trope. And I don't know, I like workplace romances, okay? I love it when the assistant and the boss get together. I just love it. Then I have Tokyo Ever After. This is just a cute YA romance. It has a bodyguard trope. That is why I got it. I like bodyguard tropes. I got Hair by Sabata Hair, sequel series to An Ember in the Ashes. Legend Born by Tracy Dion. It's a King Arthur retelling sort of with a bit of secret society and dark academia. That's really all I know about it. I need to get to it already, but because the series isn't finished, that's why I really haven't picked up the first book. And I think the series is just getting longer. So am I ever gonna start it? I'm just gonna have to just bite the bullet and start it already. And here I have the Inferno Devices series. I did read the first, I say, three books in the Immortal. What is it? Immortal. What is that series called? Immortal Devices? I don't know. My gosh. Whatever. That series. That's the first series in our entire Shadowhunter world. And I like them, but not enough where I would continue reading it. And I said again, I don't like long series, so I wasn't about to read all those books. But this one sounds more appealing, and it's only three books, so that's why I got it. I've always had it on my shelf, but I haven't picked it up yet. Because I don't know when I'll get back into the mood to read something in that world. Heart of the Fae. This one here is obviously a Fae romance book. That's why I got it. These Violent Delights. This is another Shakespeare retelling kind of book focused on Romeo and Juliet. Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This is another romance book. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I did read When in Rome. It was cute. I gave it like 3.5 stars or 3 stars. Don't remember. But for some reason, this cover is prettier and the concept sounds more up my alley, so that's why I got this one physically. These books are difficult to take from out of the TBR cart. Why did no one tell me that? Especially the long hardcovers. See, this one got beat up. This is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Obviously, I want to read this. It's a bodyguard. Like, I love bodyguard romances, okay? Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I think I'll like it. I did like Ali Hazelwood's what they call Love Hypothesis. I like that a whole lot. I actually gave it 5 stars. It was cute. I loved it. I think I'll like this one because our books are basically the same thing. I heard the way I have had this book for years, it feels rusty and dusty. To be honest, like every year, every December, I'm like, I'm gonna read this December. Never. But once again, I'm gonna read this December. Okay, it's from Luca for Love. It's about ice. I think it's figure skaters or ice. Yeah, it's about figure skaters, and I just think it fits for December. I don't know why. And it just sounds so cute. And I love Mariana Zapata's writing. She's the only one I'll read like a long romance book from because she actually has slow burn. And slow burn is when you need a long book. Why are you writing long romances when it's not slow burn? You're having, in every scene. Like, I don't want to be reading that for 600 pages. But this, I know it's gonna be some long drawn out drama between these two characters before they get together, and I love that. Cross the line. Got this summer. Summertime has passed, so I no longer want to read it until summer again. Happy Place. Emily Henry again. Song of the Six Realms by Judy L. Lin. Is that L or I? I think it's an I because a capital. Yeah. Judy I. Lin. And this just seemed really cute. That's why I got it. I don't remember what it was about though. I got the Inheritance Games two books, the first two books. Yeah. I think this is a trilogy that is becoming one of those overdrawn series now. They keep writing more books in the series, and the more they write, the more uninterested I become because it's getting too long. Throne of the Fallen. This is I'm saving this for when I'm really in that mood for some dark fantasy romance. The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I think I've only read Prayer of the Orange Tree by her. I really like that one. Not a whole lot. It kind of got underwhelming in the end. The finale was underwhelming, so I didn't really like the finale. So I think I gave it like 3.75 stars or something like that. But the Bone Season, I've always wanted to read this one. They are remaking the covers, and I think they're rewriting the story overall. So I'm gonna just be collecting the story as it goes. The last one on my TBR card is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This is another one I keep saying I'm gonna read in December, and hopefully I do this time, or at least January, just in the winter time. I just think it's perfect to read in the winter seasons. Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab, and I don't know when I will read it, but I hear that Vengeful isn't as great, and Vicious is way better. I think I would like Vicious, so I'm gonna still keep the two of them. I probably just read them around the same time so that I don't put it on another sequel that I never finish again type of deal. So that's it. That's the video. I will go now and count all the books on my physical TBR, put it right here, and also my overall shelf, how many books I have in total, so I can see what percent of my books I haven't read that I own physically. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.